Gucci walk in the damn studio, bro, with his people, to Draco's. The fucking footage is gonna show Pooh Shiesty had one on him, Big 30 had one on him. Only person who really gonna escape from this is the Pops. The Pops did not want none of this to go on. Nigga like this, bro. Gucci look at the dad like...
One of the biggest names in rap history, a guy who really built an empire from nothing, ended up getting robbed at gunpoint inside a recording studio by his own artist. That alone sounds wild, but it gets even crazier, because this wasn't just some random move. Reports say Ty's dad was involved in setting the whole thing up. Big 30 was allegedly right there, blocking the door so nobody could get out. And it didn't stop there. They supposedly brought a whole crew from Memphis to Dallas just to carry this out. Then, after it all went down, the stolen Rolex watches started showing up on Instagram like it was nothing. Now understand this. This wasn't some sudden argument or random clash. According to the DOJ, this was a planned, coordinated setup from the start. And to really get why PTY allegedly pulled a weapon on Gucci Mane, you have to look at everything that led up to that moment. Because once you see the full picture, it hits different. And trust, this, the evidence the feds are sitting on, makes the situation even more intense than it already sounds. Some people don't even realize how big this situation really is. Gucci Mane, real name Roderick Davis, isn't just another rapper. This is someone who helped shape trap music and opened doors for countless artists in Atlanta. Waka Flocka, Young Thug, Future, Migos, all of them have pointed to Gucci Mane as the blueprint. That's not small talk, that's real influence. He built 1,017 records from the ground up, went through federal prison, came back home, cleaned his life up, got in shape, got married, and flipped his whole image into something even bigger than before. That comeback story, that's exactly where Pooh Shiesty steps into the picture. Around 2020, Gucci Mane was focused on rebuilding 1017 with fresh talent. He wasn't just looking for anyone, he wanted raw energy, something real. Then he came across a young rapper from Memphis, Rel Williams, Jr., known as Pooh Shiesty, and instantly saw the potential.
The Pops just head down. You can't tell your son nothing right now. Your son the number one right now. You gonna sign this, sign the damn papers. And we need that. Wedding ring, watch, come up out that.
Pooh Shiesty had been grinding on his own. No label push, no major backing, just straight Memphis vibe and numbers online. And it wasn't fake hype, it was actually connecting with people. Gucci saw that and didn't hesitate. In April 2020, he signed Pooh Shiesty to 1017 Records in partnership with Atlantic. That move right there changed everything, because what happened next? It wasn't just a normal rise, it turned into something nobody expected. Within 6 months of signing, Pooh Shiesty had a top 15 record on the Billboard Hot 100. No exaggeration. November 2020, he drops Back in Blood, featuring Lil Durk, and it hits number 13. Then he jumps on Beatbox with Spot 'Em Got 'Em, and that track climbs to number 12. 2 top 15 hits in his first year signed. That's not common at all. Then February 2021, he releases his debut tape, Shiesty Season, and it lands at number 3 on the Billboard 200. Think about that, a 20-year-old from Memphis who just a year earlier had zero major label backing, suddenly sitting at the top of the charts. Are we really surprised Gucci wasn't about to let him out of that contract? Not at all. That move makes perfect sense when you see how fast things were taking off. But here's the part that really adds layers to the story. Pooh Shiesty didn't come to 1017 alone. He brought his cousin with him too. Big Scar, real name Alexander Woods, was another Memphis artist grinding hard in the streets. His story alone is intense. He survived a serious car accident at 16 that left visible scars on his face. Then in 2020, he got shot in the hip, and the bullet traveled up toward his chest. Doctors had to operate quickly to save his life. This wasn't just music. This was someone who really lived through struggle. Pooh Shiesty believed in him and made sure Gucci Mane heard his music. And once Gucci heard it, he didn't hesitate. He signed Big Scar right away. Now the whole Memphis circle had a real platform, all connected through 1017. And Gucci was the one opening those doors. But here's where things start getting complicated, because everything Gucci provided also came with control. Those contracts weren't just paperwork, they had real weight behind them. And Pooh Shiesty was about to feel that pressure in a serious way. Right in the middle of all that success, while Back in Blood was still climbing charts, things suddenly took a turn. Not musically, but legally. In October 2020, reports say Pooh Shiesty and 2 other men drove to a hotel in Bay Harbor Islands, Florida, planning to buy marijuana and high-end sneakers. But according to federal prosecutors, the situation escalated. Both men were shot, and the group left with the items without paying. Surveillance cameras reportedly caught everything going down, even showing a lime green McLaren speeding away from the scene. That alone raised serious questions. Then fast forward to Memorial Day weekend 2021. Another situation unfolds. Pooh Shiesty was allegedly involved in an incident at the King of Diamonds strip club in Miami, where a security guard was shot in the leg during a dispute over money. Now you've got 2 open felony cases in Florida, all while he's one of the hottest rising names in rap. That's a dangerous mix. Then July 2021 hits, and everything escalates. A federal indictment comes down with serious charges, including conspiracy to possess firearms tied to violent and drug-related activity. We're talking about the kind of charges that could lead to a life sentence, and this is hanging over a 21-year-old artist who just landed multiple top 15 records. By January 2022, he takes a plea deal. He pleads guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to possess firearms and ends up getting sentenced to 63 months in federal prison. Just like that, at 22 years old, his career gets put on hold. Fans are left waiting, momentum frozen, and the music world watching closely. And here's the part a lot of people don't think about. The business side doesn't stop. Those 1,017 contracts, still active. He's locked up, can't tour, can't record freely, can't build income the same way, but the deal is still in place. The system doesn't pause just because he's behind bars. It keeps moving. While he's sitting in a cell, something happens outside that shifts everything in a heavy way. December 22nd, 2022, Big Scar. His cousin, someone he personally helped bring into 1017, someone who survived life-threatening situations just to make it, passes away from a drug overdose at his girlfriend's home in Memphis. He was only 22 years old, and when all of this happened, Pooh Shiesty was sitting in federal prison. He couldn't go to the funeral, couldn't support the family in person, couldn't do anything but sit with that pain from behind bars. That kind of news hits different when you're locked up with no way to respond. Then things take another turn, and this is where it really starts spreading everywhere. A story comes out of Memphis and goes viral fast, and it doesn't paint Gucci Mane in a good light at all. Big Scar's brother, Quez Ruthless, goes live on Instagram and makes some serious claims. He says Gucci promised to help cover funeral costs, but then cut communication with the family. According to him, when they tried to follow up, they were told Gucci couldn't contribute because of personal expenses coming up. That statement alone had people reacting instantly, but that wasn't even the part that hit hardest in the streets. During that same live, Quez also claimed that Gucci Mane asked for the 1017 chain back, the same chain Big Scar received when he got signed, and this is right after his passing, before everything had even settled. Big Scar's sister, Alexandra, also spoke out and confirmed that the request for the chain was made. She made it clear the family planned to keep it. That added even more attention to the situation. Now, to be fair, Gucci's team pushed back on parts of this story. His wife shared proof showing $20,000 was paid toward the funeral, even though the total cost was reported to be much higher. Still, the conversation about the chain didn't go away. That detail stuck heavy in Memphis. And imagine hearing all of this while sitting in a federal prison cell with nothing but time to think. That's his cousin, his blood, the same person he stood behind and helped bring into the spotlight. And during the week of his passing, the main conversation reportedly turns into disputes over jewelry and funeral costs. That kind of situation doesn't sit right with people, especially when emotions are already high. Now think about it. If you're already feeling pressure from a contract, and then you hear how your cousin's situation played out, that can shift your whole mindset. It changes how you look at people, and it definitely affects how you move once you get your freedom back. Fast forward to October 6, 2025. Pooh Shiesty is released after serving over 3 years. He's 25 now, stepping back into the world with something to prove. The industry didn't stop while he was gone, but his name still carries serious weight. He's placed in a residential reentry program in Dallas, Texas. Strict conditions. Ankle monitor on. Home detention rules active. He can't just move freely. He needs authorization to leave, can't have a firearm, and any violation could send him straight back to prison to finish his sentence plus more time. That pressure is real. Then December 2025, he drops FDO, meaning first day out, and it lands at number 22 on the Billboard Hot 100. First track back, and it charts instantly. That shows. The fanbase never left, but here's where things take a serious turn. Even with that success, even with proof that he's still a strong name in music, he's still locked into that 1017 deal. And based on what's been reported, Pooh Shiesty wanted out of that contract badly. Years in prison, feeling stuck in terms he agreed to when he was younger, seeing everything that happened around his cousin's situation, then coming home and realizing Gucci Mane still has control over the business side. That tension was building up heavy. He wanted freedom, and according to federal prosecutors, he allegedly decided to take matters into his own hands. This is exactly where the story stops being just about music and turns into something way more serious, a federal kidnapping case. So here's what's being claimed. The plan reportedly did involve just Pooh Shiesty alone. His own father was allegedly part of it from the very beginning. Trell Williams Sr., a figure connected to Mob Ties Records in Memphis, is accused by prosecutors of helping organize and carry out the entire situation. According to those claims, he allegedly rented the vehicle used to move around Dallas. That means father and son were supposedly coordinating this together. That detail alone makes the situation hit even harder. And it doesn't stop there. The crew itself tells a story. Phone records and license plate data reportedly show multiple individuals traveling from Memphis to Dallas in the days leading up to January 10th. This wasn't random timing. This looks like planned movement, coordinated travel, people coming together for a specific purpose. Then you have Big 30, real name Rodney Lamont Wright Jr., someone who grew up alongside Pooh Shiesty, really close ties, same background, same city. Their connection runs deep. But here's what stands out. Big 30 isn't even signed to 1017. He's with Moneybagg Yo's Bread Gang. No known contract issues, no public problems with Gucci Mane, nothing tying him directly to that side of the situation. So why was he there? According to how it's being framed, it all comes down to loyalty. He showed up because someone close to him called. That kind of loyalty might sound solid on the surface, but in a situation like this, it can come with serious consequences. So look at how this all lines up. You've got the father allegedly handling logistics, Memphis members making that drive, Big 30 ready to step in, and Pooh Shiesty on an ankle monitor under strict home detention rules. He's not supposed to leave, not supposed to be near any weapons, but this situation was already in motion. January 10th, 2026, Dallas, Texas. A recording studio becomes the center of everything. Gucci Mane and two other music industry professionals travel there thinking they're walking into a normal business meeting. The setup, a discussion about contract terms, something professional, something routine. And it was reportedly arranged by Pooh Shiesty himself. From the outside, everything looks official. Gucci even shows up with off-duty police officers for security. Nothing about this meeting seems out of place at first. Then everything flips. According to federal prosecutors, what happens next is described as an armed takeover. That's the exact wording used. In that moment, the situation allegedly turns from a business meeting into something way more serious. Prosecutors claim Pooh Shiesty pulled out an AK-style pistol and pointed it at one of the individuals inside. They allege that person was forced to sign documents related to his recording contract under pressure. That was the entire goal, to get those papers signed right there. Not through lawyers, not through negotiations, but through intimidation. While that's happening, the rest of the group reportedly moves in as well. Weapons drawn. Other individuals inside are confronted, and valuables like Rolex watches, jewelry, and cash are taken. What started as a sit-down about business allegedly turned into a full operation in seconds, and it gets even more serious. According to the DOJ, one of the individuals was allegedly choked to the point of nearly losing consciousness. There are reported photos showing injuries to the wrist and neck. That detail alone takes this situation to another level. Then there's Big 30. Prosecutors say he stayed positioned at the door the entire time, physically blocking it. Nobody getting out, nobody calling for help, no way to escape. Under federal law, that kind of role can make someone just as responsible for what's happening inside. That's how serious this is. And don't forget, those off-duty police officers Gucci Mane brought for security were right there. They reportedly witnessed everything as it unfolded. These aren't just random accounts. This is trained law enforcement giving first-hand statements. That carries major weight in a federal case. But here's where it really turns up. Because investigators didn't just rely on witnesses, they had hard evidence. The ankle monitor Pooh Shiesty was required to wear as part of his home detention placed him directly at the studio location. That same device meant to keep track of him reportedly recorded his presence at the exact scene. And on top of that, it showed a violation of his release conditions. That detail stands out heavy. The very system meant to keep him in line becomes a key piece of evidence against him. Then you add in the digital trail, cell phone records, and license plate reader data. According to reports, they show coordinated travel from Memphis to Dallas leading up to that day, and rental records allegedly connect the vehicle back to his father. When you stack all of that together, witnesses, tracking data, travel records, it paints a picture prosecutors are taking very seriously, and the evidence just keeps stacking up. Surveillance cameras reportedly tracked movement across multiple locations: the studio, a nearby office supply store, even the hotel where several of the suspects were staying. Every move starting to get documented piece by piece. Then it goes even further. Investigators recovered fingerprints from the scene that allegedly matched two of the individuals involved. That's physical evidence tying people directly to what happened. But here's the part that really makes people stop and think. Within hours of the incident, some suspects were already posting on social media. According to reports, DeMarcus Glover shared photos wearing jewelry believed to be taken during the robbery. Terrence Rogers allegedly posted a video showing a Rolex linked to the same situation. Think about that for a second. Something this serious, and the items are being shown online the same day. That kind of move only adds more attention and more evidence. Then comes another detail: travel records. Greyhound data reportedly shows multiple individuals taking a bus from Dallas back to Memphis right after everything happened. The very next day, they're on a bus ride home. And now those records are part of the federal case. It sounds unreal, but this is exactly what's being laid out. April 1st, 2026, everything catches up. The FBI and DOJ coordinate arrests across multiple locations in Memphis. Agents raid the Williams family home in Cordova, Tennessee. Trell Williams Sr., the father who is alleged to have helped plan everything, is taken into custody right there. At the same time, Pooh Shiesty is arrested in Dallas, the same city where he was supposed to be completing his re-entry program and getting back to normal life. Instead of a fresh start, it turns into another major legal situation. His ankle monitor had reportedly been tracking his movements the entire time. That same device becomes a key part of the timeline investigators are building. Big 30 gets arrested. Then 6 other alleged co-conspirators are picked up across Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. In one single day, 8 out of 9 individuals are taken into custody. The only one not immediately captured, Terrence Rogers, was still being searched for at the time. And the charges? These are serious. Kidnapping, armed robbery, conspiracy. Every person involved is potentially facing life in prison if convicted. That's not a small case, that's everything on the line. Now look at this part closely. Pooh Shiesty had already avoided a life sentence before by taking a plea deal in his earlier federal case. And now at just 26 years old, only months after being released, he's once again facing the possibility of life behind bars. That turnaround is wild. U.S. Attorney Ryan Ralston made it clear during the press conference. He stated that cases like this should serve as a warning. Using violence and intimidation as a way to handle disputes can lead to severe consequences. That message was direct. And when you step back and look at the full situation, it really hits. This is the same artist Gucci Mane helped bring up. The same person he signed, backed, and gave a major platform through a deal connected to Atlantic Records. From Memphis grind to charting near the top of the Billboard 200 in under a year. He even supported Pooh Shiesty's circle, including giving opportunities to his cousin. That makes the situation feel even more complicated. According to the case details, what followed was a series of decisions that escalated fast, bringing people from Memphis to Dallas, involving close connections, and walking into a business meeting that turned into something much more serious. And then there's Big 30, someone with his own career, his own path, not directly tied to the situation, but still ending up caught in the middle. That's how quickly things can shift when loyalty and pressure collide. And because he showed up for someone close to him, he's now facing the possibility of spending his life in federal prison. That's how fast things can change when decisions go left. The name Shiesty wasn't random either. It was given to him by someone close who felt it matched how he moved. And Gucci Mane, one of the most experienced and respected figures in the industry, saw that energy, believed in it, and helped turn it into a real career. Put him in position, gave him opportunity, opened doors. But situations like this show something real. Some lessons don't come from music, and they don't come cheap. They come with consequences that are way bigger than any deal, any chart, or any moment of fame. If you learned something from this story, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to see the full picture. And drop a comment. What do you think really went wrong here? If you want the full deep dive into Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane, from the rise to the contract to everything that led to that Dallas situation, check out the full video linked right here. I'll catch you in the next one.